What's up? I'm here. I'm here. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it, but we've made it. We're a little late. We don't have a huge amount of time, but we are here. Okay, let's just get right in. Let's get right in since we don't have quite as much time tonight. We are going to be working some more on the Reclamation album. Didn't quite have enough free time to get the next Afterwinter song ready to start. So we are just going to mess around with the stuff that we left off with from Wednesday. So what we were working on Wednesday was this song, Blind Loyalty. This is the second to last track on the album. And we had just put the vocals in. I don't think we'd actually mixed anything to do with them yet, but we had stuck them in there. So let's take the background vocals back out for a little bit. I want to pay special attention here to the lead vocals just for a little while. I think for the most part it was okay, but there's a few bits that should be a little bit fixed up. I remember hearing a couple of things at least that I thought were too loud and too quiet. So let's come up here. Let me make sure that we're still set up so that you guys are going to hear this. Rid of that. Yep, we should be good. That bass phase was over there. I want to take a look at, yeah, so this actually we can get rid of that send. We're no longer using it. There we go. Okay. So here's our first verse. I think I want to give just a little bit more overall. Just a little. And then there were a couple of words in there that were buried. I was looking at them, now I've lost them. There we go. My headphones are all tangly. Let's listen to that one more time. Give an inch, they'll take a mile. Any moment to turn hostile. They're taking advantage of you. Give it your all. Yeah, give it right there, I think, was a little quiet. It was okay. It was close, but let's turn it up a bit. Taking advantage of you. Give it your all. They'll still want more. Give them three. Wanted more. They don't care about what you do. Okay, and one more little spot there. Just the word you. Right there. I didn't even hear it. Let's crank it all the way up right there. They'll still want more. You give them three. They wanted more. Okay, heard it that time. Let's try taking it back a little bit. They'll still want more. You give them three. They wanted more. They don't care about what you do. You promised blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They're taking your life, but you don't seem to mind. They gave you security, conditional impunity, a lifelong commitment to which you are resigned until the end, until you're dead, until you've been sucked of all you can provide. They do it all to keep you blind. Okay, I think I would turn all of that up a little more, but I know there's going to be background vocals beefing that up, so I think that's going to be good for now. Let's go up to the second verse. It's incredible the lengths they take to make you feel like you are safe. 1 second. I want to hear those first couple of words again.
It's incredible the lengths they take to make you feel like you are safe. The things they pull would not fly to anyone with eagle eye. They only want to keep their pockets lined. A complicated web of games in your mind. You've been robbed, you've been fooled, and they manage to make it think that you approve.
There's a little bit in there in that last line.
You've been fooled, and they manage to make it think that you approve.
Might even just turn that whole middle section up just a little bit.
You've been fooled, and they manage to make it think that you approve.
Okay, and then I think I want make you think a little bit more loud too as well.
To make it think that
There we go.
fooled, and they manage to make it think that you approve. You promise blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They're taking your life, but you don't seem to mind. They gave you false security, conditional impunity, a lifelong commitment to which you are assigned until the end, until your death, until you've been sucked of all you can provide. They do it all to keep you blind.
Yep, same thing. I think I'm good with those at the level they're at. And then, so that's the second chorus, and then all we've got left actually is the third chorus. So theoretically, everything should work out fine already. Let's check.
Blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They've taken your life, but you could take it back. They gave you false security, conditional impunity, and it just gets worse the more that you unwrap. Until you stand, until you decide, until you dare to question their design. It's time you saw what makes you blind.
Yeah, okay, so I think we ironed out a couple of little spots there. Other than that, I'm all good with that. So let's add in our background vocals. Most of the background vocals in this song are in the choruses. Yeah, 98% of the background vocals are in the chorus, and that last little 2% makes up the blind chant that's taking up that whole bridge section here, or breakdown, whatever you want to call that there. All these background vocals are going off at that point. But other than that, it's just harmonies in the chorus. So let's just open up everything and go bit by bit and see what we think. So here's chorus 1.
You promise blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They've taken your life, but you don't seem to mind. They gave you false security, conditional impunity, a lifelong commitment to which you are assigned until the end, until your death, until you've been sucked of all you can provide. They do it all to keep you blind.
Yeah, I think I was good with all that. So let's jump out to the second chorus, which is essentially the same, but it's in a different key. So there is a slight chance we'll need to adjust.
You promise blind until you've been sucked of all you can provide. They do it all to keep you blind.
Yep, was good with that. Let's just essentially continue the song and check out that the big chant thing, the blind chant. So as you can see, it does fade in. All, geez, I don't know, 24 tracks or something of these just fade in slowly. So we just need to check and make sure that it doesn't get too loud, basically.
Blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They've taken your life, but you could take it back. They gave you false security, conditional impunity, and it just gets worse the more that you unwrap. Until you stand, until you decide, until you dare to question their design. It's time you saw what makes you blind.
Nice. Yeah, I was into that. Both the chorus and the bridge there, both working pretty well together. I want to check that this and this. I just want to listen to the vocals only in that chorus. Just make sure. I thought I heard something weird. I want to identify it if it's there.
Blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They've taken your life, but you could take it back. They gave you false security, conditional impunity, and it just gets worse the more that you unwrap. Until you stand, until you decide, until you dare to question their design.
Okay, I didn't hear it that time. Must have been something weird. Okay. So I'm pretty good with most of that. I think I want to give it one more listen through from start to finish, see if anything catches the old ear. But for the time, first pass anyway, I think pretty good with this. I don't think the second pass mixes are going to take very long on any of this either, being that this stuff is so much less complicated than the Afterwinter stuff. Oh, just saw some comments from Zach. Zach says, give the snare some more punch. Nice. Yes, I will take a look at that. I actually took a little bit of bottom end out of the snare recently. Maybe I need to put that back. Let me put that back and see what you think of that. And he also asked who's on vocals. That's me, if you'd believe that. That's actually every bit of that. Actually, every bit of all of this is me. This particular album is 100% me. Guitars, drums, bass, vocals, all me. You did tune in for the song that doesn't have a guitar solo in it, though. So there's that. Okay, let's take a listen from front to back, see what we think.
until you've been sucked of all you can provide. They do it all to keep you blind. Blind loyalty, ignorant serenity. They've taken your life, but you could take it back. They gave you false security, conditional impunity. And it just gets worse the more that you unwrap. Until you stand, until you decide, until you dare to question their design. It's time you saw what makes you blind.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with all that. Nice. Yeah. Oh, okay. Zach said he thought it sounded like me. Good job. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Also, this is Logic Pro. This is basically the bigger brother of GarageBand. It's a Mac only thing, but super neat. I've been using it since 2013, I think. Liking it a lot. Has a lot of different stuff. Okay, so let's move into the next one. You know what? I actually want to roll back to the very opening track. So I haven't done very much in the way of streaming this particular album. Mostly we've been working on Afterwinter, so just Wednesday and today are the two streams, and we haven't had a chance to listen to the first two tracks, which I've already essentially gotten to a point that I'm happy with, more or less, mix-wise. So I wanted to... I was actually in the mood to hear this song earlier today and didn't even have time to take a listen to it. So what better time? Let's just roll through that here. I got to set it up so that you guys are going to hear it. Just like that. Make sure you guys get the limiter as well. Okay, we should be good. So this one is called False Victim. So this is another one of the ones that I wrote lyrics for. Like I was saying, on Wednesday, I wrote lyrics for most of the songs on this album, all but two, which Savannah did lyrics for those two. But this one is, well, it could be pointed at a lot of different situations. This was inspired by a specific situation in my life. It applies to more situations than just the one it was inspired by. But one of my favorite songs, very, very kind of aggressive-y, Pantera-ish. I want to stress that ish part. So this is my intention, is for this to be the opening track of the album. So let's take a listen. There it is. Yep. Glad we listened to that. I actually did make a couple of changes. Nothing big, just a bit vocally up, overhead mics on the drums up. This one has such a neat drum thing to it. The drum groove is kind of based around. Yeah, Dad says can't imagine who this song could be referring to. No, it's a total mystery. Not sure. But anyway, yeah, that drum groove is based around kind of like a double ride, one on the left, one on the right. I love that, the way that works there. Just because, of course, that part's also in 7/4 time, because of course it is. So it's a super neat. Okay, so now we're actually going to jump to the end song of the album. Now, most of the songs on this album are fairly short and concise. I should say short for me, short in comparison to other stuff that I've typically written. But I did allow myself one kind of prog moment, and this song I decided I wanted to kind of tell the story of the events specifically that led me to quitting my job at Whirlpool last year, and also kind of sums up a lot of the stuff that's on this album. A lot of the songs have this sort of kind of negative thing going on with them. Like the one we just listened to, for example, is very accusatory and negative, and Blind Loyalties, very, very similar. And this song was kind of to tie it all up and give it kind of like a hopeful. Yeah, I know a lot of this was kind of negative, but it's not all bad. It's not all bad, and also sort of the events that happened in life that led me to specifically realizing, okay, I gotta turn this thing around. And because I knew that was going to be kind of an involved story, I just went ahead and told myself, okay, this is going to be a long song. So I let this one be a little bit more typical for me as far as length goes. And thus it is, I think, 12 minutes. Yeah, almost 13. Okay, so it's a little shorter than 13 minutes. But a lot more proggy than all of the other ones. It takes a lot of twists and turns. So we're going to start the way we normally do here with we're going to mute all of the leads and all of the vocals and just focus solely on rhythm guitars here for a second. Uh, I think I've already got most of the bass and drums and everything sitting where I want. There's lots of auxiliary percussion in this song too, as you can see. So we got a tambourine hits, tambourine shakes, egg shaker, on top of the actual drum track itself as well. Also, rather interestingly, this is the first and very likely only song in my personal history that was part of it was written on an 8 string. So I bought this ridiculous looking thing here as a 8 string agile guitar just out of curiosity. I was James kind of got me into using 7 strings, and 7 strings has become my norm now. But I was curious what would an 8 string be like. I don't like it very much, but this part, the intro of this song, I wrote on the 8 string, and I do like it a lot. Uh, could just be the guitar, but it impedes on the space for the bass guitar and blah 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 blah. So anyway, the intro of this song is played on an 8 string, and then we go back to a 7. You can actually see the switch right here. So this is all of our rhythm guitar tracks. So this little blurb down here is the 8 string, and then for the rest of the song, we've got 7 string going on. So let's see. I don't know how much there will be in this song as far as needing to. Oh, I get it. No, sorry, I was super confused by something I just saw. I don't know how much we'll need to have things jumping up and down, but we will figure it out. So let's take a run. This is going to be drums, auxiliary percussion, bass, uh, rhythm guitar, distortion rhythm guitar, and yeah, let's go ahead and keep the clean guitars in there as well. Here we go. Thank you for pointing that out, Zach. Yep, I did the same thing that I did on Wednesday. I forgot to set up Black Hole. So you guys, the only bit you were hearing there was from my headphones. I am terrible for remembering to do that. Got to set up the audio driver for you guys as well. There we go. Okay, should be hearing it now. As soon as we start playing it again. There is a lead that starts this song too. It feels weird not hearing it. Okay, for real this time. There was definitely some harmony stuff going on right there. Just 1 second here. I think I was okay with the little harmony leading into the chorus, but this stuff here I think should be balanced a little better. Who puts their chorus in 5/4 time? Apparently it's me. So let's just grab these two measures here, basically. And let's adjust, let's try a couple decibels and see if that makes a difference. So we're adjusting the main rhythm guitar down and the alternate rhythm guitar up. So we get a little bit more of that harmony. Let's try that out. little bit of harmony right there. I think I want to hear that a little clearer. Almost that whole end section is in harmony. Let's try that 2 decibels. Now there's also a lead going on during that. So we want to be kind of careful not to step on the lead's toes. The lead is more important than anything the rhythm guitars are doing right at this moment. But let's just try flipping them 2 decibels and see what that gets us. Yep, and there's that same harmony section from the first chorus. So just like then, we're going to grab those 2 measures and just essentially flip them. Main rhythm down, alt rhythm up. Again, there's that same measure in that chorus there, or 2 measures. Long song. And we're still maybe only 2/3 of the way there. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh no, I guess more like 3/4. Okay, so there was definitely something going on the alt guitar there for like that whole section. Yeah, okay, I had forgotten all about that. Okay, so let's try flipping those again. So just take this down 2 dB or 2 dB. Wow, lost the ability to say dB. Take that one up. Let's try that whole section again. Okay, yeah, almost. 1 second. Okay. I think for this second half here, I actually want to put both guitars back. Yeah, Zach's curious how the lead vocals are going to fit on top of this. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. Very weirdly is probably the answer to that question. Love that lead in the mix. Yeah, I agree, for sure. Put that back. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we created a weird node thing right there. Look at all that. None of that is necessary. What's going on there? So why is that up at 2.5? I don't feel like it should be. Same thing here. This should be at 5.5, like that. Nice. Now we do also have something like that going on here. So this part that we're about to hear here is a guitar solo, and the rhythm is continuing to play those octaves. And that does get buried in the mix. However, that's also pretty much what the lead guitar is doing. The actual guitar solo lead thing right there. So I think I might let's move it a little bit, but for the most part, I think it's okay the way it is. So let's try 1 decibel difference here. Of course, I got to put those up at 6, which means I got to trick Logic into doing it. There we go. Oh, actually, both of them have to go to 6. I didn't even think about that. All right, well, we're going to have to settle for one of them not being exactly on it, because Logic just will not do -6. Okay, let's hear this. Oh yeah, gotta end it weird. That's gonna be neat. Okay, I think we got it all. Pretty happy with all that. So let's start getting leads in. This song's got a lot more leads than all the other ones do. So we'll go pretty much bit by bit. I think we're gonna open up lead 1 and 2 together because they're pretty often in harmony. So the very first section that we have to stick in here is the intro. It's the thing that starts the song. It's this cool little I'm not even sure exactly what to call it lead. It's weird. And it comes back later on in the song too. And then there's some leady bits in the breaks that lead up to each chorus that are usually in harmony. So let's get all of those bits in. Here's the first one. Yep, good with that right where it is. Let's check out these. So this is break 1 leading up into the first chorus where we've got both lead 1 and 2 firing, and the lead 1 comes in and then the second one comes in to harmonize it. boy, these leads might just be super easy. Barely an inconvenience, am I right? Am I stealing that from someone? Feel like I am. Okay, so basically same thing now, but later in the song, leading into chorus 2, there's a very similar lead bit. It's not exactly the same, but very similar. Yep. Okay, so I turned the beginning of it up about a decibel, but the rest of it I'm good with. It looks like we're working with the same thing here again. So let's operate under that same assumption that we are going to need to turn the first bit up a little. Oh, I just see something I did by accident. Yep. There we go. First bit up a little, and now we're leading into chorus 3. So basically the same lead, a little bit longer this time. Nice. Okay, and then directly after that third chorus, we kind of have an intro repeat. It's in a different key now. It's in B instead of F sharp, but we have that funny little lead coming back at the end of this chorus. Kind of feels like it cuts out really abruptly, but there is an actual guitar solo that comes in right on the tail of that. So it feels like it all slots in there once we've got the context of everything. Okay, so that's those two tracks. So now let's get in our other 3 lead tracks. So we have a guitar solo track and then another 2. So we've got a guitar solo left and a guitar solo right, which are both adding some extra things to the guitar solos. So we're going to turn all of these on at once. I already know that these 2 bits here are going to need to come down during the main guitar solo. So let's start with them down and work from there. Okay, first little bit, short little guitar solo, still in the intro of the song, kind of bridges the intro to the first verse. Short little thing, let's check that out. Absolutely. That actually comes back later in the song as well. What do we got? Oh, yes. Directly after the first chorus, during that really cool 5/4 bit, there's also a lead. And my memory of hearing this song in the past is that this lead is too loud. So let's also turn this down and see what we think. Nice. Yeah, I like that. I don't mind that one being a little bit more quiet because the rhythm is really cool there. Another thing, and I'm okay with the mix as it is, but another kind of weird thing that I don't hear all that well in this mix is that the acoustic guitar is also playing that riff that came in at the end there, that 13/8. Just an interesting little touch. You can tell if I mute it that something's changed, but you also don't specifically hear it. Okay, so now we come to the kind of the main guitar solo of the song, the big one in the middle. Uh, and this is where we have our left and right tracks coming in too. Thought I heard it, but barely could. Yeah, absolutely. So I really like what the left and right guitar solo tracks are doing here at the beginning of the solo. Let's take a listen to them by themselves. They're really kind of ambient and far off. Yeah. So, but they tend to get in the way of the actual guitar solo. So, tell you what, let's listen to just those with the rhythm. So, temporarily mute the actual guitar solo and just kind of see where those sit within the rhythm. Nice, yeah. So again, they're meant to support. They're not meant to be super in your face. So now let's turn the actual guitar solo on and see what we get there. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, so moving on down the line, we have another guitar solo. This one's a little shorter, but this is the one that I referenced earlier that comes in at the end of the return of the funny little intro. So we got another couple of little bits here in the left and right guitar solo, so let's turn those back up to where I turned the track down from originally, which I believe was 7. Just a quick little harmony over a section of this solo. Okay, so we're also transitioning the feel of this part of the song. So we're transitioning the feel from the return of that intro to the way the rest of the song feels. That kind of D major rather than B minor happy feel, sort of, kind of. It still kind of flickers back and forth, but this guitar solo is more in the feel of D major. So kind of an important transition. Yeah. Let's see. Zach says, "Is there any way to adjust the attack without making it off tempo? Some of it seems really bitey. Just curious if that's an option." Yeah, let's take a look. Like the beginning of the solo from the middle to the end, it sounds smoother. Yeah, I think that's partly to do with the way the sound just is essentially. Um, when it starts building up a lot of those high frequencies, it can get pretty crazy. So let's try rolling off just a little bit of treble. Not very much, just a hair. There we go. Okay, and then moving on to the final solo of the song, uh, we're again kind of in that D major feel, this sort of thing. So this solo is a lot simpler. It's almost not a solo, but let's check it out. Yep. Nice. Okay, so I think that's all the leads. Now, I do need to stop the stream at 9. This was a shorter one today, which sucks because I'd really like to actually get this one finished. We got a little bit more than 15 minutes, which is, pretty much the length of this song. So I definitely am going to get down into detail with the vocals, but let's go ahead and just take a listen to the song with all the vocals in it, all the leads, all the backgrounds, everything in it. And maybe we might catch a few things that will jump out that we can fix as we're listening. If not, then it'll just be a cool listen through so that we can all kind of hear what the vocals are supposed to do. So we're doing our normal vocal thing here. We have 2 lead vocal tracks, but it's really only one part. There's the main one, which is this one here, and then this one down here that's much, much quieter is just a double. Everything on it is exactly the same as what's on the lead. It's just there to beef up that main vocal a little bit. And as you can see during the choruses, that vocal, the double vocal actually comes up a decibel, just to give the choruses just a little bit more punch and edge. But for the most part, we're still wanting this to sound like one voice, just with that little extra beefy edge of having the double. All right, so let's start from the beginning and see what we hear.
Lost on a winding path, I thought I knew where I was going. Can't even find a way back. I thought I knew what I was doing. Such a bright future, so much potential. Lost in the wave of proper living. I used to know what I wanted. this, and life would offer more worth to live. taking too long to realize what was almost destroyed. I must remove the negative things from my life, starting with this job that I despise. Sometimes bad things come from unexpected places, and it's hard to let it go. You might hurt someone who doesn't deserve it, but it's necessary to grow. I used to feel arrogant, and sometimes I still do, but at some point something has to give, and your happiness must be important too. A light on the path, an uphill climb. It won't be easy, light stays on and can't be swayed.
Yeah. Sure doesn't feel like 13 minutes. It's not quite 13 minutes, but it's pretty much there. So a lot of little things to do in there for sure. I mean, definitely catching a lot of little pieces, but for the most part, I think it sits pretty well as is. I don't think there would be a lot of complaints if we just printed it like that, honestly. But there's a couple of things here and there we can do to make it a little better. Um, One of the last minute additions was the background vocals in the little funky intro thing. And I really like where they sit right here. These ones that we're looking at that happen in the at the very beginning of the song, and then when we come back to it in the middle, which I think is this, because we're in the different key, we're in a much the only way to sing it was lower, and because it's lower, it doesn't cut through the mix as well. So need to turn those up right there a little bit. In fact, that's something that I don't think would take super long. Might as well just do there. That was the only kind of glaring thing that I noticed. I think I want to leave the BG3 thing right where it's at. But these, let's try taking it up 2 decibels and see. So let's check that. Yeah, that was better. So again, it shouldn't, jump out in front of everything else, but it is kind of a neat part. It's kind of like a monk type of a thing. It's very Def Leppard, I think. Just take a listen to that real quick, just because it's a neat part. Oh, I didn't remember those ones going down at the end. And then, of course, in the middle, because the key is different, it's got to come down. I've lost the other ones. There they are. Then we transition up to the D major at the end. Oops, I didn't think we were still playing. Yeah, so that was a very last minute addition thing. Most of this I over demo. You guys probably know that I tend to overdo demos. So a lot of this was written with just a guitar and a click, and then full lead and background vocals with all these harmonies and all these stacks and everything. But those parts, the bits that we just listened to there, weren't on there. That was when I was recording the real official vocal takes. I thought, well, let's try this. I'm hearing this here now. Let's try it and see what happens. I like it. I think that worked out pretty well. Okay, so it is time to get off of here. 9 o'clock, time to get home to the kids. Got some stuff going on early in the morning. So lots and lots of stuff to do actually tomorrow on the day off as it happens. So I guess we will go ahead and tune out. So as always, guys, thanks so much for clicking on this and watching this, whether you're watching it right now live or whether you're watching it in the future. I appreciate any time that you spend watching me blabber, and hopefully you enjoy what you saw and what you heard. I'm really looking forward to having this album finished and off the plate. There's a million things going on right now, and this album is just one of the many things on the plate that needs to get finished. It's been going on too long. This and the After Winter album are going to be I'm going to be remember 2022 by both of those albums, and honestly for the After Winter album, years before that also all going to be stuck in the memory thanks to all of this. But I think it's coming out really good. Hopefully you guys agree. I will probably catch you guys Wednesday night, so right around 4:30, between 4:30 and 5, we should be streaming again on this channel. Again, not sure whether it'll be this or after winter. Definitely one or the other. Just kind of depends. We're getting pretty close to calling this one done. I mean, we're not at the finish line, but it shouldn't take too much more time. So maybe we'll spend a little bit more time getting this one knocked out. But we got some really cool after winter things going on this weekend at the studio here, so maybe we'll be working on that as well. There's plenty of after winter stuff to do as well, and of course that thing's been 3 years in the making, so we need to get that done also. Either way, check it out on Wednesday. We should be wherever it is that you're watching this right now. We should be back on Wednesday. We stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all three at once. So wherever you watch this, tune in maybe 4:45 or so on this coming Wednesday evening. Thanks one more time, guys, and I will see you then.